Hello, Sagittarius. Come closer and take your time. Today, this space is reserved just for you. Place your hand over your heart and take a deep breath in, because what's about to appear is not just a series of cards, but a gateway into the most sacred part of you, where intuition, desire, and destiny are weaving a story so powerful you won't be able to look away. This is your sanctuary, where the moon's world merges with your fire. And here, truth doesn't frighten you. It lifts you higher, into a version of yourself you were born to remember. If something here stirs your heart, let that be your sign. Leave a like, write a comment, or simply breathe in deeply, so this frequency can ripple out to other souls on their own path of awakening. Write it down if you feel cold. I am ready to receive all the goodness I deserve. Sagittarius, stay with me until the very last second, because I feel something strong pulsing through your field. You're not just living. You're waking up from a collective sleep. You're stepping off an old path and tuning into your own frequency of creation. You are a trailblazing soul, not because you know it all, but because you dare to question everything. You're breaking patterns. You're not waiting for the future to come. You're pulling it closer. With your belief, your movement, your imagination, and what you're about to hear isn't some fairy tale prophecy. It's a raw, soul-shaking truth. A truth hidden behind awkward silences, strained smiles, and long pauses in familiar relationships. It's a truth that once suffocated under small talk, buried under social politeness, is now rising, like a storm. And when the cards turn over, they don't ask for permission. They don't wait for you to be ready. They call you. And once you hear it, you can't go back. So if your heart starts racing a little faster, know this: you're standing at the eye of the storm of transformation. A revelation is coming, not to hurt you, but to return you to the rawest, clearest vision of yourself, your path, and what you truly deserve. But even in the center of all this, Sagittarius never flinches. Your reading shows it loud and clear. A message is arriving, a breakthrough, a moment that has to do with money, career, or recognition. Something you've been imagining, craving, praying for, and working toward for longer than you'd like to admit. And the best part, it's coming faster than you ever thought it would. As if the universe decided to hit fast forward just because you had the courage to trust the invisible. The horses appear, symbols of movement, speed, and breakthrough. What was stuck is finally flowing. What was rusted is waking up. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. If you've been waiting for a payment, it's on its way. If you've been waiting for clarity, it's unfolding now. What once lived only in your imagination is now taking shape in the material world. You've got one foot in the present, and the other already stepping into a future that moves faster than time. And just like destiny had it planned, the topic of love begins to heat up. Someone out there is being torn apart by your absence. They didn't expect the silence to be so loud. They thought they had moved on. But only now are they realizing nothing has ever truly replaced your presence. Maybe this was a soul who once denied how they felt. Maybe there was an age gap or a maturity gap. But don't let that fool you. The connection is still intact, and you don't need to prove anything. Just being in your authentic energy is already magnetic beyond measure. The Magician card appears, not as a surprise, but as confirmation. The magic, it's not out there somewhere. It's in you. You are the creator. You are the spark. You are the breath that brings the impossible to life. And that person feels it. They can't turn away from your field, even in silence, even in their inner battles. They've never stopped thinking about you. They are waiting for that sacred moment, not to return as the same person, but as someone restructured from the inside out. The Temperance card appears, a symbol of inner balance, of deep soul healing. It brings a gentle message. Someone out there is truly changing. They may not show it easily, but they're trying harder than ever not to damage what's still left between you. Even if they never say it out loud, you mean more to them than they've ever admitted. The soul connection is still alive. Through dreams, synchronicities, and those strange moments when you just know someone is thinking of you, in silence. And I want you to know, the angels are still here, watching, supporting, reminding you that you are not alone. That blanket of light around you has never left. Miracles don't show up to make you less lonely. They arrive to confirm that you are an irreplaceable piece in the awakening of this world. So I invite you, write this down, not just as a ritual, but as a soul-level agreement. I am ready to step into the next miracle of my life. Don't just hear this message, live it. Remember, the universe doesn't send energy this strong to someone who isn't ready, and you are absolutely ready. Sagittarius, you are a sacred flame of the universe on this earth. You're not just alive, you're creating miracles. Let me whisper something into your ear. Something small is coming, something that may seem insignificant, but will move you so deeply. You'll go still. Trust me. It's no coincidence. It's a message from your soul's inner fire and from ancestors watching you from the higher realms. Trust yourself. Trust the divine within you. Trust the sacred energy moving through every cell of your being, where light meets steadiness, where your ancestors' prayers meet your present-day action. The story between you and this person is not just about love. It's a soul thread, being purified, restored, and made ready for the next chapter. Even if they've denied it, even if they left, even if they pretended not to care, the energy between you has never gone away. No distance, no silence is strong enough to sever something this magical. Their soul still chooses you, and what's coming is a reunion that burns bright, the kind of connection people admire and envy, because you two don't just share feelings, you share fate. Time has passed, yes, pain has happened, but all of it had a sacred purpose, to make you stronger, clearer, more self-loving, and to help them realize you were a gift they once weren't mature enough to receive. The unspoken truths, the feelings held down, they're starting to rise, because at the higher soul level, you're both calling each other in. They think of you as they wake, they feel you in dreams, and even if they don't understand it, you know why. You're breaking out of linear time, you're manifesting the future, like a comet flying beyond space. They can't push you out of their mind, because you're not a memory. You're the living torch in their heart. And yes, you may have hurt them before, maybe with your silence, or simply your strength, But that pain didn't destroy them. It awakened them. They might not show it, but inside, they're going through a transformation they've never faced before. Everything left unsaid between you is still there, like a letter unopened, like a song, waiting for its final note. Do you feel it too? Those moments when your thoughts go quiet and suddenly their image appears. It's because they're still carrying feelings they've never dared to express. And you, with your blazing Sagittarius light, are melting every wall they once built. Your energy is reaching them, like wind gliding through the air, touching them, no matter where they are. And as you enter this peak phase of your journey, attracting your biggest dreams yet, you are being divinely protected. Because yes, there are eyes watching with envy, there are whispers of doubt, and some energy trying to hold you back. But don't worry. Your angels are forming a circle of light around you. They whisper beside you as you sleep. They appear in the flicker of your candle. You'll feel them in tiny signs, a breeze, a gentle knock, a wave of peace filling your chest for no reason. These are confirmations that you are protected. Nothing can disrupt the destiny that was always meant for you. And yes, you are stepping into a powerful season of luck. Not luck by chance, but luck by divine design. This is the chapter where the final pieces, after years of waiting, are finally falling into place. The projects that stalled will flow, the promises left hanging will be fulfilled, and the ones who turned away will return unexpectedly. Because the wheel of destiny has begun to turn, and you, the archer who shoots farther than any other sign, are now guiding your arrow, not to hit a person, but to land on the divine purpose of your life. They are still stuck in their own chaos. They can't see the way out. They don't have clarity. But that won't stop your energy from moving forward. You are shaking their entire system just by being you. And as you keep walking your path, the road you create will become a path for them too. What once felt blocked will flow. Career, finances, love, it will all start to shift with you. Because that's how energy works. When you change, everything around you starts to change too. The star card appears in your reading, like a beacon in the night. It whispers, "Don't give up hope." It reassures you, this love isn't over. It's just maturing in the dark. And in the end, what you've been waiting for won't arrive through force, but through divine orchestration. A destined turning point is approaching in a way you didn't see coming. What felt cold will burn again. What felt finished is about to rise. Yes, they will return, but not as the person you knew. They're coming back as a soul who finally chose to grow up. And even if they don't return right away, you still win because you chose yourself. You didn't abandon your own heart to wait for someone else's change. And that is the greatest miracle of all. If they lost you, it wasn't because they didn't care. It was because they chose what was easy instead of what was right. They weren't ready for a love that demanded courage, growth, and commitment. And now, they're facing the cost of their avoidance, a lonely soul in a world they once thought they had control over. But you, Sagittarius, you didn't stay in the wound. You got up, you focused, you evolved. You've been honoring what's sacred, your family, your calling, your soul. You didn't need some grand ritual to be reborn. You did it through quiet, consistent actions, day after day. And now, you're outgrowing your old life at a pace you didn't expect, but always knew was possible. Your work is expanding, your spirit is expanding, even your aura feels like fire wrapping around your personal universe. You're rebuilding your life with a quiet resilience you once doubted you had. But the cards are whispering something else too. A reminder. You weren't born just to be responsible. You didn't come here just to carry burdens, solve problems, or sacrifice. You came here to breathe, to dance, to open your heart's doors wide. And if you've been feeling overwhelmed by deadlines, money, duties, expectations, the universe wants you to remember there are other paths, other rhythms, other colors, other worlds waiting for you to explore. Sagittarius, you need to go outside, not to escape, but to renew, to connect with souls who lift you higher, who remind you of your wild, limitless nature. You can't soar if you're living inside a cage, even if it's plated in gold. And when you finally step beyond those self-imposed limits, you'll begin to attract new people, new opportunities, and new miracles. The kind that wake you up like meeting your younger self again. The one who still dared to dream. You need to be around those who light you up, not just burn through your energy. And when I look at your spread, I see it clearly. Some of the people closest to you are not truly for you. They hide behind masks of friendship, business, or concern. But beneath it all lies comparison, envy, and even manipulation. But don't worry, no one can harm you now. You're too awake for their old games. Still, the universe wants you to see more clearly. The jealousy surrounding you isn't because you're weak. It's because you're shining. You don't need to do anything to stand out. Your light, your truth, already does that. And in love, there's someone who's envious too. Someone who heard about you. Someone who was told your name. But the person they confided in wasn't the right one. They shared about you with someone who didn't love your light. And that energy created confusion. But guess what? No one can block a love that's been written by the divine. So if you're waiting on someone to return, or unsure whether your next love is old or new, here's what I can tell you. The energy of Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo is burning strong here. And that means passion, clarity, and emotional rebirth. Someone is waking up, not because they were forced to, but because their heart can't stay silent anymore. They've come to realize that someone once interfered. Someone once disrupted the energy between the two of you. But instead of retreating, they now feel themselves being pulled back to you, stronger than ever before. And the latest card confirms it. The hard chapter is over. You're no longer in the storm. The battles have been cleansed. The shadows have passed. The karmic debt has been paid. You were purified through pain and perseverance. And now, the chariot of light arrives. You're being lifted, protected, guided, not just to escape the battlefield, but to enter a new land, a place where peace doesn't have to be earned. It's already waiting for you. Imagine walking through a field once littered with mines, carefully tiptoeing, afraid everything might explode. Then, suddenly, a golden gate appears, and your soul guides lift you up. They whisper, That's enough. The lesson has been learned. It's time to walk into grace. And yes, this process might make you anxious. It's like your soul knows something big is coming, but your mind hasn't caught up yet. Don't panic. It's just your frequency updating. You're being lifted out of the swamp and placed on the tracks of light. And now, I want to return to a truth your heart needs to accept, so it can finally let go. You've spent too long surrounded by performers, people playing roles, friend, family, lover. But deep down, they didn't want to see you rise. They smiled, they patted your back. But secretly, they hoped you'd stay stuck. They were never truly happy when you were. And yes, it hurts to know that. But that truth also sets you free, because once you stop expecting support from those who can't give it, you create space for real souls, the ones who see your light, to enter your life. Sagittarius, your life is turning the page. In this new chapter, you are no longer the one lighting fires for people who never brought wood. You are the sacred flame, and the universe is sending a wind to carry your light to the right place, to the right soul, at the right time. And do you want to know why they were so disturbed by you, Sagittarius? It's not because they hated you. No, my dear. Hatred lives on a different frequency. This is raw envy, the kind that's born from unspoken admiration. They saw your light, a light that reminded them of what they'd lost in themselves. They saw your ability to rise, your capacity to love, even when life left you empty, your willingness to give, even when you had nothing left to hold. And that light revealed their shadows. You did nothing wrong. You simply existed. But your existence made them feel small. That's why you felt dizzy when the truth surfaced, the whispers behind your back, the quiet alliances among those you once trusted, smiles that no longer felt real, a storm of energy as the masks began to fall. And the greatest irony, the ones who tried to silence your fire became the fuel that ignited your rise. If they hadn't betrayed you, you wouldn't have grown this far. If they hadn't pulled away, you wouldn't have learned to stand. So, as hard as it is to admit, offer silent gratitude. Because of them, you were purified, and now you're soaring higher than ever. And now, let's return to their energy. The one you feel in every passing breeze, every lingering glance, every quiet moment that tugs at your soul. I told you before, you hurt them, but it wasn't a wound on the surface. It was a crack in their soul, a fracture where truth slipped in and showed them they had lost the most sacred thing that ever knocked on their door. They thought that keeping their distance would keep them safe, that closing their heart meant keeping control. But instead of peace, they've trapped themselves in silent rooms full of memory. They don't just miss you, they relive every breath, every sound, every light you once brought into their world. They try to replace you with work, with people, with meaningless distractions. But the more they tried, the more they failed. Because you are not an image, you are a frequency, you are a dimension, reachable only by an open heart. And now, they see you differently, not as the one who waits, but as someone who's moved into a realm they can't touch yet. You are the embodiment of the magician, the one who turns spirit into reality. And that terrifies them. as much as it inspires them. They fear that you've locked the door for good, that you've thrown the key into the sea and never looked back. Inside their mind, a silent war rages. One voice whispers, "Don't humiliate yourself, don't go back." But another voice, the voice of the soul, screams, "Go, that's your destiny." And you, even without trying, can hear that struggle. That's why you sometimes feel exhausted for no reason. It's because your energy is clashing with their chaos. They are calling your name in the ether. But Sagittarius, saving them is no longer your job. You've done your part. You've loved. You've given. You've lived with a sincerity that few on this earth ever dare to live with. Now, they must walk through the shadows alone and face the weight of their choices, not with words, but with action. The Temperance card tells me they're going through an alchemical process, a merging of opposites, water and fire, soul and ego. But the process is slow because it asks them to take off the mask, to stop playing the wounded child and become the adult who takes responsibility for their own emotions. Maybe in the past, they thought love was a game, but now, life, the harshest teacher, is showing them that a soul connection isn't something you can use and throw away. Love is not a currency to measure. It is a medicine to restore the soul, and while they learn their lesson, you are learning yours too, about self-worth, about value, about no longer using love to prove you deserve it, because you always have. And that's why the star appears. The star shows up after the tower, after everything collapses, not to offer false hope, but to confirm this: you survived, without bitterness, without shutting down. Your heart is still open, still loving, still sacred. And that, Sagittarius, is the real victory. Not everyone can love after betrayal, but you can. Not everyone can hold light after darkness, but you did. Right now, your manifestation gateway is wide open. Every word you speak is a command to the universe. Every thought you plant is a seed for tomorrow's reality. So speak it. I am ready. Write it down. I am worthy. Think only of what you desire, because it's closer than you've ever imagined. But if you choose to sink into the role of the victim, if you let complaints flood your thoughts, that energy will amplify too. So, stay aware. Choose a different story. Use the wand of the Creator, not to repaint old wounds, but to design a new reality, where you are the architect, not the one getting swept away. Your angels are all around you. You feel them, don't you? In the soft sounds around your home, in the sunlight sneaking through the curtains, in the wind brushing your window when you least expect it. They're working tirelessly. They're clearing the shattered energy of the past. They're cutting the invisible cords to those who once diminished your light. They're closing karmic loops you've carried for lifetimes. And they're leaving you signs. A single feather on your path. Repeating numbers: 1111, 222, 888. A sudden scent of flowers in a room you didn't open. They whisper, "Relax, we're doing our part. Now you, do yours, shine." And yes, as your vibration rises, the arrows of envy can no longer reach you. Darkness cannot see the light, it only fears it and runs from it. That's why those who once wanted to see you fall now don't understand why you're still standing. They threw stones. You built a fortress, they slammed doors. The universe opened gates, and that confuses them. But that's their journey. Don't carry their poison on your back. You are wrapped in divine armor, untouchable, as long as you walk in light. Now, let's talk about money, about stability, about the very thing you fought so long for, but always felt out of reach. The horses in your spread, symbols of movement, messages, and momentum, bring more than money. They bring opportunity. They signal a shift in how you understand abundance, a creative idea, a sudden business offer, a promotion you thought had passed you by, is now appearing. But more importantly, you're learning the greatest lesson about prosperity. Money is no different than love. It reflects how much you value yourself. When you say, "I am enough," the universe responds. When you set boundaries, when you stop asking permission to matter, when you stop shrinking to fit inside someone else's world, resources begin to pour in, like a waterfall. Your faucet was once blocked by a stone. Now, that stone is being removed. Get ready to receive. Get ready to invest in your happiness, in the joy you once denied yourself, in the dreams you put on a shelf because you deserve it. Scarcity was just a mental program, not the truth. And now, you're unplugging from it. You're coming home, back to a state of pure love. And now, let's return to the subject that once made your heart ache. Jealousy. Someone once whispered doubt between you and them. It may have been a feminine energy or a masculine one, but they were skilled at spinning stories, dropping seeds, setting emotional traps. They didn't want to see your love shine because it reminded them of the emptiness they carry inside. They tried to twist the truth, to plant doubt, to divide. And for a while, they succeeded. But like all smoke, lies never last. The one you're thinking of is starting to see what doesn't add up. The curtain is falling, and now they're beginning to remember what was real and what was never true. And when that truth fully hits, the anger they feel toward themselves will become the very fuel that drives them back toward you. Not to restart an old story, but to seek redemption, to be cleansed of the dust that once made them turn away from the most sacred thing that ever found them. And you, Sagittarius, what will you do when that moment arrives? Because believe me, it will. The cards never lie. The wheel has turned, and this time, it's placed you on the throne. You're no longer the one waiting on someone to change. You're the one who decides. And when they see you again, they won't see who you were. They'll see someone stronger, more grounded, more radiant than ever. And if they want a place in your life, they'll need to come with full devotion, or not come at all. And if someone new enters, someone who has done their inner work, they will arrive as a gift, a soul who doesn't try to tame your fire, but who wants to nourish it. Someone who knows that being loved by you is a divine privilege. Lately, have your dreams felt vivid, strange, almost too real? That's not fantasy. That's soul contact. You and this person have been meeting on another plane, a space where ego dissolves and nothing is left but truth. That's why you wake up with a strange nostalgia or a quiet knowing that everything is going to be okay. Your soul remembers. The red thread hasn't snapped. It's only been stretched. And now, like a bow being released, the ends are snapping back with force. And now, let's return to the Magician card. On the table, everything you need. The cup of love, the sword of truth, the wand of passion, the pentacle of abundance. You already have it all. You are not missing anything to be happy. You don't need someone to feel complete. All you need is to accept that you've made it through. You're in a new chapter now, and you have every right to write it in light, not memory. Happiness isn't a destination. It's the moment you realize, I am the one creating my reality. And when that truth sinks in, when your heart is soaked in gratitude, you become a cosmic magnet, pulling every beautiful thing toward you without trying. Desperation repels, certainty attracts. And today, these cards didn't just bring hope. They brought confirmation that you're not crazy, that every gut feeling, every shiver in your chest was real. The universe doesn't gamble with your heart. If a dream was placed inside you, it's because it was meant to come true. The blessing coming isn't small. It's a tidal wave. Finally returning after years of delay, it's soul justice. Life owes you, Sagittarius. It owes you laughter for every tear you cried, warmth for every night you felt alone, and the universe is balancing the books. The scale has tipped fully in your favor. Those who doubted you, who dismissed your light, will go silent as they watch you shine in a place they thought was barren. And they'll whisper, how is she still glowing like that? The answer is simple. You have God in your heart. They only had ego. You had angels. They were guided by disconnection. Right now, the final threads of your destiny are being rewoven. Karmic knots are being untied. Communication is slowly unlocking. You don't need to chase anything. Just shine. The sun doesn't chase planets. It simply radiates, and everything aligns around it. You are that sun. Take care of yourself, your body, your spirit, your inner world. The more fully you live, the faster what you desire arrives. And the paradox is, when you release the need, what you long for comes rushing in like rain after a long drought. And now, one last revelation. It has to do with home. Not just the walls around you, but your soul's sanctuary. Tensions, misunderstandings, illness will begin to clear. There will be reasons to gather, to celebrate, to be reborn. And at the center of it all is you. Your presence is the healing your family didn't know it needed. You are where others come to rest. But you too deserve a place to rest. And the universe is building that place in the heart of someone who truly loves you. Very soon, you'll have a place to lay your head and be understood without a single word. So, Sagittarius, walk forward with your head high. Don't dim your light. The truth doesn't hurt you anymore. It fertilizes your soul's garden. And the future is knocking. Will you open the door? I know you will. Because you were born to shine, born to love without fear, born to live fully. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can erase what the divine has written in golden ink on the pages of your fate. That ink will never fade. No person, no force can erase it. You didn't survive just to end a chapter. You survived to begin one more aligned with the power of your soul. This is not the end, it's the gate. What once shocked you is now your sword. What once broke you is now the branch cut back so you could grow toward the sun. The divine gardener has cleared your path. And now, your light doesn't just silence the envious. It guides the ones who truly love you home. Because with the love still pulsing in your chest, The final cards say reunion is inevitable. This isn't just a possibility. It's a destined moment waiting for perfect timing. They have run out of reasons to hide, and you, by not chasing, but simply shining, have become the strongest magnet in the universe, and they are the metal that can no longer resist. You've always been the center, even in the furthest distance. You are the North Star, in the compass that once lost its way. In the days ahead, you'll see the signs, a shift in tone, messages that go deeper, or even without words. You'll feel it in the energy, you'll hear it, you'll know. And when it comes, don't be afraid, because you're ready, and you're worthy. You're not living in the old chapter anymore. You are the one writing the new one. And this chapter, dear Sagittarius, is titled Resurrection in Light. It's not just their soul reaching toward you, it's their energy, humbly asking for permission to return to your spiritual field. But this time, you hold the key. You decide when, how much, and whether the door opens at all. Because the power has returned to its rightful owner. Your power is no longer dependent on someone else's reaction, recognition, or late apologies. You now set the rhythm. You write the rules of your own heart. That chariot we saw, the one of victory and awakening, has no brakes. And you, Sagittarius, are riding it. You are leaving behind the lands of depletion, of waiting, of long silences, and heading toward a land where milk and honey flow. And for the first time in a long winter, you can exhale. The universe has turned the light green. Projects once paused, dreams you thought weren't for you, ideas that once felt too big, are coming back to life. Speed up. Don't look back. What's behind you is the ash of an old self that burned bright and transformed. Walk straight toward the sun, toward a life that doesn't require permission to be fully yours. A life where you are the main character, where your sensitivity isn't a weakness to be hidden, but a spiritual gift to be honored. Where love is not a burden, but a well-earned reward. The gossip will fade, the schemes will crumble, because real light can never be dimmed, and this universe never forgets a brave soul. You don't need revenge. Your success will speak for you. Your happiness is the sharpest comeback. Hold your frequency in gratitude. Gratitude for what you have, and for what's already on its way, as if it were already here. Gratitude for that deep love. Gratitude for golden opportunities. Gratitude for peace, for clarity, for the serenity wrapping around you now. Because by doing so, you're telling the universe, I am ready, and I can feel it. A still, deep pace spreading through this space. It's the peace after the storm, the breath of a warrior who has survived it all, and now is sitting, not to fight, but to finally live. Sagittarius, you've cried alone, you've suffered in silence, you've been the anchor for others and forgot to wipe your own tears. But that chapter has closed. The era of unconditional giving has ended. The era of divine return begins. The universe pays back sevenfold. Every act of love, every loyal word, every silent forgiveness, they've all been recorded in your soul's sacred vault. And now, you've come to collect. In true love, in honest invitations, in resources, in health, in divine acceptance. The world card appears not as an ending, but as a gateway to ascension. You've completed a karmic cycle. You've passed your spiritual exams. You don't need to repeat those lessons anymore. Now, everything operates on a new frequency, not survival, but collaboration, not longing, but manifestation. Picture yourself dancing inside a sphere of light, surrounded by sacred orbs, next to your destined partner, holding the energy of wholeness. Behind you, the valley of shadows you once crossed. Don't look back. You're no longer there. You're the one on the mountaintop, untouchable. You are the bold embodiment of light. Heaven is applauding you. Your ancestors are whispering blessings in your ear. Your guides are guarding the gate you just walked through. You are the light that cannot be replaced. Anyone who lost you will realize they let go of a gem they'll never find in 1,000 lifetimes. Spring has arrived, and the flowers that bloom at your feet aren't just earthly. They are divine, because you, Sagittarius, you are the alchemist. You turned pain into wisdom, betrayal into strength, loneliness into sovereignty. So now what? Is the sky the limit? No. Even the sky can't contain you now. Trust your intuition, your dreams, the signs, the synchronicities. Everything is aligned to bring you to the right place, the right soul, the right moment. Now breathe in certainty. Breathe in gratitude. Breathe in your future. And exhale doubt, fear, anything that no longer serves you. The door is open, the stage is lit, the souls are watching. Don't wait for permission. Step up and claim what has always been yours since the day your soul was born. You cannot be stopped. You are the fire force of the zodiac, the torchbearer, the flame keeper, the one who lives to light up the world. And now, everything is waiting for you. Live, love, choose yourself.